It's time now for County-Wide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Brad Miller as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives here in Yavapai County. And now, here's today's County-Wide.
Well, good day and welcome to the program. Brad Miller with you, and we're happy to welcome into the studio today. Tamara Knisley is with the Yavapai County WIC, the Women, Infants, and Children program. Did I say that right?
Yes.
All right. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good to have you here. We've been chatting, and we'll share our conversation with you at this point about a very important program that it sounds from our conversation a little bit underused. A very valuable resource, excuse me, for new mothers and infant babies and young children up to about age 5 or so, offered kind of through the county, but it is a federal program, and Tamara's going to talk to us about that today. So, again, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Good to have you come in. Is that right? This is a federal program that's... I thought it was county.
No, it's actually a federal program. It's federally funded. It's in every state. And so then the states kind of disperse the money out to the counties. And there are some like freestanding WIC clinics that aren't associated with counties, but many of them are.
Okay.
Because it's just such a, a nice program for the counties
It seems to dovetail nicely with kind of the county's health administration and those kinds of things.
Exactly. Yeah.
Give me the 30-second, what is WIC for those who have not heard of the program at all?
Okay. Well, it's obviously for women, infants, and children. It's we do provide nutritious foods. We all of our staff are trained in breastfeeding, and so we have breastfeeding support that we provide for our families, and then nutrition education, which is very important in those early years during pregnancy and infancy and childhood.
Sure.
And then we also provide referrals. We're a referral program as well, so we can help them find other sources of help.
Did I say it right that there's a lot of different, just in your kind of the nutshell overview, there's a lot of things in there that folks just are unaware of?
Yes, I think so. I think sometimes they think of us as just a supplemental food program, which we are, and that is an important part of our program. But, we do offer the nutrition education, which is really important. And then, the breastfeeding support as well, which people don't often know that we do.
Now let's talk about that. In our house, when we had our kids, my wife nursed, and that was just, she was going to do it, by gosh, because, my sister with her kids chose not to. It just wasn't for her. And I know that sometimes there can be some criticism of women who choose not to nurse or are uncomfortable or for whatever reason. And I don't know if it's a fallacy or not. You can tell us that nursing is extremely important and whenever possible should be, that there's kind of hormones and what have you. Is that right? Are there fact or fiction?
Well, breastfeeding is very important. There's a lot of benefits to breastfeeding for both mom and baby, and sometimes people don't realize that. They think, a lot of people know the benefits of breastfeeding for the baby, but not necessarily for the mom. So we like to, just provide that information. And then, of course, we support women in whatever, however they want to feed their baby. We want to help them do that well.
Whatever choice they make.
Correct.
Well, tell me about that. What are the benefits for the mom? I'm unaware of this myself.
Oh, okay.
I thought I knew it all. I thought I knew everything.
Well, of course, there's always the bonding aspect, which is, just wonderful. For some women, not for all women, but for some women, it can help with losing the pregnancy weight. Which is,
would be popular.
Many women are excited about that. It doesn't work for everyone, but for many women, they find that it does help with the weight loss because it's calories. You're using calories.
Right.
Also for the mom, there's been some studies that have shown that it can help reduce their risk of certain types of cancer, like breast cancer and ovarian cancer. So, a lot of people aren't aware of that as well.
Is that right, that there's like kind of a hormonal thing that is very strong for the baby, particularly to kind of get, and I don't know the chemistry of it or if I'm using even the right words, but there's kind of an exchange, not just for nourishment, but that it can really kind of help with, resistance and things like that. Is that right?
Yeah, in breast milk, it has all of the mom's antibodies are in there.
Okay.
Right, so the baby's going to get all of mom's antibodies, because for many vaccines, many vaccines can't be given until a child is 6 months.
Okay.
But if they're being breastfed, they can get those antibodies from their mom's breast milk. So they're, typically, sometimes women, when they're breastfeeding, if they get sick, they think, oh, I shouldn't breastfeed, but actually that's the best time to breastfeed.
Really?
Because, they're giving the baby all of those antibodies that their body is making.
Well, now that makes sense to me. See there, look at us go. Yeah. Well, that's what I say. I'd kind of heard that and I didn't understand it. And, you know, I'm some old fat guy, but it makes me wonder how many young mothers or pregnant mothers maybe are just unaware of the importance or the benefits, let's say, of these kinds of things. And WIC does that. It helps.
Right, we just provide that information for them. Yeah, definitely give them that education.
Okay. Yeah. Now I know this is kind of for like lower income folks, particularly. How does that work?
There are income guidelines. It's 185% of the poverty level. So it's, you know, a mathematical equation that they do. But if you call us, we can, you know, let you know if you qualify. Sometimes people think our income qualifications are lower than they actually are, so it's always good to check it out. You can go to the website as well and look and see the income guidelines. It'll tell you, you know, for a family of 1, a family of 2, a family of 3, you know, what the guidelines are per, you know, week or month. And oftentimes people will qualify and they don't realize it.
Right. We're kind of talking about once the baby's here, but there are services, right?
No. During pregnancy as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's for pregnant women.
So as soon as you know.
As soon as you know, come in. That's the best time to come, really, and get established. Then you can, you know, get to know us at the clinic. We, you know, provide you that information to help you to have a healthy pregnancy so that you do have a healthy baby.
Right. Let's go ahead and take a break here. When we come back, I want to talk about some of the other services there.
Okay.
And let's kind of start right there. Oh, I've just found out this great news.
Okay.
and maybe walk me through how things can become involved. We'll take a short break. Our guest today, Tamara Nisley, is Yavapai County WIC Women, Infants, and Children program. More important information to come right after this.
Having a fire escape plan is very important to keep your family safe and together in the event of a fire. When you awake to the sound of a smoke detector and smoke in your room, don't stand straight up. Carefully roll off your bed and stay low under the smoke. If your door is shut, feel the door with the back of your hand. Slowly open the door if no heat is felt. Always stay low until you get to the outside of your home. Always have 2 ways out of your house and a specified meeting place somewhere outside your home. Home escape plans should be drawn up and rehearsed on a regular basis. This could be the difference between life and death if caught in a fire.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Welcome back to the program. Again, it's countywide today. Tamara Nisley with the Yavapai County WIC program. That's Women, Infants, and Children. You can find them online. YavapaiHealth.com. I think that's the county health department's website, and you're kind of administered through there.
Correct.
So you'll find that there. Look for that. Good information. 639-8134 is the number to call if you have a question about something you've heard on the program today, or just want to know more about this program itself. Let's kind of do that, as we mentioned in the first piece there. I find out this great, wonderful news.
Right.
I'm scared to death because maybe it's my first one.
Right.
And where do I start? I think I may need some help. I don't, everybody thinks, well, once you get pregnant, you know everything about babies and what it's like.
Right.
And when my wife and I started our family, we thought, we don't know anything.
Exactly.
Can you help me get get it going?
Absolutely. So find out you're pregnant, give us a call, set up an appointment, or come to our office and we'll get an appointment set up for you.
Okay.
What then will happen is you'll come in for your appointment. We'll ask you to bring some things just so that we can check to make sure that you qualify income-wise. We'll check that, your address, just some paperwork, but it's a very short process. Then we go through health questions, nutrition questions, just to get an idea of, where you're at, how you're doing. We'll do a weight, a height, just see how things are going, kind of ask you, what the doctor said, how the pregnancy's going, all those kinds of things. And then from that, then we'll give you information or nutrition education on what you're interested in and what kinds of things, you'd like to learn about.
Okay. WIC does not provide medical.
We do not.
No exams, no...
We do check iron, is the one thing that we do. We check iron just because many women, young women and then children sometimes can be anemic. So that's one thing we do check, and then we would provide information about that if they, if their iron were to be low.
Why is that?
That their iron's low?
Is that... I guess I'm saying, is that a condition sometimes in pregnant women that happens, or is it in everybody?
Sometimes, more so generally in women, just younger women, and sometimes it's, we don't get a lot of iron in our diet. Sometimes iron's hard to absorb, types of things. So it's just something that we check. Yeah,
okay.
Just something that we check, and if your iron is low, it can make you tired. And so if you're a new mom, really,
Good luck.
you're going to be tired anyway. So we, provide that information so that hopefully get your iron stores up so that you won't be anemic and have another reason to be tired.
Okay, gotcha. So in that sense, you talk about kind of a health, I don't know if screening's the right word, but some questions just to kind of help and follow kind of along. And I guess that would be information maybe you can take from your program and include that in what you discuss with your doctor.
Exactly. And we do provide, like I said, we do provide referrals. So if something comes up and, we find out that you have a need for something else, we can refer you out to other agencies that, may be able to help with healthcare or, different things like that.
If there's other issues, things
like
that. Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we continue right along then. Let's get up to the big day.
Okay.
All right. Here comes little Brad.
Right.
And at that point, I guess you can still be involved heavily with the program, but it's going to change obviously a little bit.
Absolutely. We after the baby's born, you come in again, and we see you throughout the pregnancy for checkups. We check in with you. Then you come in after the baby's born, and we enroll the baby, re-enroll you. Just see how things are going, what kind of where you're at now.
Right.
How you're feeding. If you're breastfeeding, we can provide that breastfeeding support for you.
Okay.
If you're doing formula, we can assist you with that as well. The preparation, storage, different things that you need to know with feeding a baby. And then just follow along through that first year, and then continuing after that, the children can stay on up until they're 5 years old.
Okay, up until 5.
Up until 5.
Okay, it seems like what you do is if you've got maybe strong support. Grandma's in the picture, say, or aunts, or and things like that, and that's obviously that can be very, very helpful. But there's a lot of people who don't have those things, because as you're talking and kind of listing that, I think a lot of this is just kind of generic stuff. And when you've had 2 or 3 kids, you know it all by heart. But boy, that first time out especially, and I know it's not just first time mothers, but it can be. I mean, it can be terrifying. It can be very frightening.
It can.
It's the biggest thing that's going to happen in your whole life.
Right, exactly. And the thing too with nutrition that because sometimes people do have a lot of support, but things that we did 20 years ago, now we know things that are different. So, we like to give that new information and what's new and what we know now, just so that, everybody's up to date and doing the most, current things with nutrition. And
the way Grandma did it maybe isn't the way we do it today.
Correct. And not that they were wrong. That was the best information they had then. Right. And now we have new information now, so we can, we know that this works better, or those types of things.
When we talk about they come to the program, you kind of describe that kind of ongoing relationship. Can like new mothers get, like we had, I don't know if we really kind of did that. When I say we, I mean my wife and I, and kind of a journal. It could just be thoughts about what's kind of going on. We had a friend who had some very serious postpartum depression issues. Do you talk about kind of the emotional side of that?
We do. That's a little beyond. I mean, certainly we would talk with them if it was something severe. If it was beyond our scope, we would definitely refer out, and we can provide those resources so that they can get help if they do need it.
Sure,
absolutely.
Yeah. And that can be fairly common.
It can. Yeah.
I know. Here, I'd heard of it, but I didn't really kind of understand it until, you know, we had someone close to us who really had a dickens of a time.
Right.
And it is serious.
It can be, yes.
It can be a very, very, very serious thing. So there is all that in an extent. It sounds like, if I'm understanding, there's the program, there is what you do, kind of on the ground, if you will. But then it sounds like there's a pretty strong referral network.
Yes.
From what I'm gathering.
Absolutely, yes. We do have that. We have a referral list that we give to everyone, and then again, individually, once we are talking with people and we kind of see, you know, where they're at and what their needs are, then we can refer them specifically to certain, you know, other agencies or programs.
And here again, that's stuff they may not be able to find out by themselves.
Correct.
You just don't know.
Right, exactly. There's a lot of things out there that people aren't aware of. I mean, even WIC, a lot of people don't know about WIC. So
the program itself,
right.
The one that kind of helps, kind of a clearinghouse, if you will, for having a healthy baby and a healthy family.
Exactly.
YavaPaiHealth.com again is the website, and it's a good place to go. I found about the program, it's somewhat broad, it's generic, and it sure seems like the best way to do this, especially if you're, you know, pregnant or starting a family or wherever you are, kind of in that range you described. Come down, you know, make an appointment and get inside and kick the tires, as they might say, and find out a little bit more. Let's go ahead. We'll take another short break. Our guest today, Tamara Nisley, is with the Yavapai County WIC program. That's Women, Infants, and Children. YavaPaiHealth.com is the website for it. We'll talk more when we come back after this.
Hello, everybody. I am Lou Ann Patterson. My family and I would like to welcome you to the Copper Star Indoor Shooting Range, Northern Arizona's premier shooting sports facility. We offer a 25-yard pistol range, a 50-yard archery range, and Arizona's only 100-yard indoor rifle range. In addition, we have a full-line gun shop as well as an archery pro shop. Come check us out. We're located at Highway 260 and Cherry Road, right next to Out of Africa. Looking forward to seeing you all.
I got no pulse for losing. Shocking. Drives it road all the time. Just had a few drinks. Just can't be happening.
Are we clear?
Clear. We're just buzzed. Just buzzed? You didn't tell us that, sir. You're right. This isn't happening. He'll be fine. I feel good. Really? No, not really.
Buzz driving.
Clear.
Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
Shocking.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Fire can happen at any time. What would you try to save?
My family photos.
My grandfather's war memorabilia.
My dogs.
I'm firefighter Brandon Wacker with the Cotton Fire Department. A working smoke detector is your best defense in the event of a fire. Make sure you have a smoke detector in every room except your kitchen. Test them monthly and change the battery once a year. Take the time to save the things you can't replace.
Again, welcome back to the program, Countywide Today. Brad Miller with you and our guest, Tamara Nisley. Yavapai County WIC program, WIC, W-I-C, standing for Women, Infants, and Children, for pregnant women all the way through newborn babies up to kids 5 years old. A very important program, and as Tamara's done a great job describing today, I really see it as kind of a catch-all resource for a lot of questions, and there are a million of them when you start a family.
Yes.
And it's kind of a nice safety net.
Yeah, absolutely.
To have there. You talked earlier about like the gals will come in and kind of sit down. There's a questionnaire that you may go through and all that. Is this like in a classroom setting? Do you come back for different kinds of demonstrations or presentations, or is it a one-on-one like we're doing?
It's just a one-on-one like we're doing, and it's really not so much a questionnaire. We used to kind of do a questionnaire. Now it's more of just a conversation.
Okay.
We just kind of go through just questions about your health and, like I said, nutrition, and kind of where you're at and what you'd like to learn about, what you're interested in.
Okay, makes sense. Mm-hmm. Also, we've kind of talked about, I think our focus has been an awful lot on infants, but the program, as you said, goes kind of involves children up to age 5.
Absolutely.
And it occurs that, to me, that the nutritional needs from infant to 5
yes.
is going to kind of change dramatically. And I guess kind of that transition can be different. I know a lot of times there's, well, he's 1, he should be doing this. He's 2, he ought to be doing that. She's 3, she should know this and that.
Right.
Do you help with those kinds of things educationally?
Definitely do. Definitely. Infants grow an awful lot. They have a lot of calorie needs during that infancy because they're, doubling and tripling their birth weight. Once they turn 1, sometimes parents will notice their appetite slows down, they get worried, they're not eating as much, just different things. And then sometimes they'll go through phases. There's all kinds of things that are really normal, but parents don't know that. They might be concerned about different things, so we can give them that education and just kind of reassure them that, this is normal, or, give them tips and suggestions on what to do to get through that. Yeah.
Does this get into involving, again, I know you're a nutritionist, and that's really the focus, is kind of good health and well-being.
Right.
But at some point, does there become, if the child is having maybe some learning issues, or do you help kind of identify those, or
again, we would refer those out. Yeah, absolutely. And we do, through the county, we have many other programs that we can, refer to within the county, so that we have them, those resources right there at our fingertips to help with things like that.
You kind of touched on something, and I don't want to let you get away. The flu has been an awful problem here this winter. We've had terrible stories even in our own community. This has to be a question that comes up, in the program that you do. Nursing mothers, you mentioned, and I was surprised to hear that. I didn't know that when they're have a cold or whatnot, continue to nurse. It's even better.
Yes, absolutely.
But what other kind of maybe tips or advice for, new babies, new moms?
Really just keeping them home, keeping them, and we do need them, when we see the baby, we like to see the babies, we like to have moms bring them to the clinics, but, if they're very, very young, or if they are sick, we, want them to stay home. Definitely. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is hand washing, of course, and, just kind of keeping them at home, away from the public as much as possible, so that they're not exposed to that.
It's funny, David McAtee was here about a month or so ago, and we were talking about the flu, right as it was really starting to kind of kick in. And I don't think he or I or anybody, we ever kind of used the word, we talked about babies, especially who are too young to be immunized.
Right.
And I don't think we use the word quarantine, because that's a big, strong word when it comes out of the health department's mouth. But in a sense, you do kind of sequester infants, keep them away from the grocery and the public places, and
as much as possible. Yeah, definitely.
It's just common sense in a way.
Right. Yeah. And if they are breastfeeding, again, that will help, with those antibodies. So it's important.
Very good. An awful lot there. We've only kind of, touched the surface really on what the program is all about. The best way to find out, you can certainly look online. Good website, some good resources there. That's yavapai.health.com. Now that's Yavapai County Community Health Services website. WIC will be a part of that, a subtext for that. So look, you can find it. It's pretty easy to find. 639-8134 is the number. And if folks want to make an appointment after hearing the show today, that's the number to call?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Definitely.
So start there. And then, do I get to talk to you when I come in, or how big is the staff?
There's me.
So I want to talk to you.
There's me, and then there's 2 other staff members that do those types of interviews, and then we also have 2 other staff members that just focus on breastfeeding. Okay. So, yeah.
Plenty of folks to help answer your questions and take care of you. All right, Tamara, good to talk to you. A very important program, and underused, it sounds like. It's a strong resource, and probably there are more in our community who could take and should take advantage of it, get a good start for a mom and new baby. Tara Nisley, a nutritionist with Yavapai County's WIC program, we thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good to have you in studio. It's our program. We'll see you next time.
This has been County-Wide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Listen in each Tuesday and Thursday as we tackle the hot topics and talk to the decision makers across Yavapai County. That's County-Wide with Brad Miller and Paul David each Tuesday and Thursday on this Yavapai Broadcasting station.